Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's TheSketchMonkey here. Now, there's been, I don't know how many years since Ford announced that they will in fact revive the Bronco nameplate with a brand new Ford 2021 model Bronco. While the hype is real, a lot of fans are starting to lose their patience and frankly get a little bit pissed off. There isn't even an official reveal date yet. All we know is it's going to be revealed in the spring of 2020, so obviously in the spring of this year. And in this video, I'm going to go over the spec and tech of what we know of the new Bronco, and of course, talk about its design. I guess the good thing about a dragged out launch process such as this one is there is no shortage of concept renders of the Bronco, and we're going to go through them all in this video. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm also going to show you which renders are my personal favorites, and of course why they are my favorites. So we do know that the Ford Bronco's direct competitor is going to be the Jeep Wrangler, and we also know that the Wrangler comes in both 2- and 4-door versions and a pickup truck, because let's be honest, the Gladiator is just a Wrangler with a bed on the back. Then there is also the new Land Rover Defender, which also comes as a 2- or 4-door. So will the Bronco match these Wrangler versions? Well, we know that there will be both a 2-door and a 4-door Bronco, that's for sure. We've all seen the test mules out in the wild getting some air and stuff like that, and I think it's funny Ford acts like they don't want spy photos taken of them, but come on, they love the hype and are secretly probably sitting around in the break room giggling while they read all the articles and speculations about the Bronco, such as this video right here. Ford has already confirmed a Bronco hybrid, and there was almost certainly going to be a Bronco pickup down the line as well. As mentioned before, it's going to compete with the Wrangler pickup or the Jeep Gladiator, so they're most likely going to create a pickup as well. As for the powertrains of the Bronco, it looks like the Bronco will feature a 2.3-liter turbo 4-cylinder. This will be the base version of the Bronco. There's also the same engine that we get in the Ranger. I don't know the exact output, but this engine produces 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque in the Ranger, so we might have the same numbers in the Bronco as well. A higher output V6 will most likely definitely be available as well. And this will presumably be the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 found in many other Ford products, and the power output should be around 320 horsepower in the V6. No matter what engine you pick, they will be paired with an automatic 10-speed transmission. There has been some talks about Ford teaming up with Getrag to make a 7-speed manual as well, but this is not confirmed. But I say go for it, Ford. Make a 7-speed manual for the Bronco, and let's phase out the combustion engine era of cars by fitting more new models with manual transmissions, so future generations can appreciate and see what proper driving used to be like back in the day. And this would also make sense for the Bronco, since the Wrangler is currently offering manual transmissions for their cars. The new Bronco will be based on the same T6 platform as the Ford Ranger. However, since the wheelbase is shorter, the chassis is not going to be exactly the same. This means that the Bronco will be built as a body-on-frame vehicle, and this is interesting because it helps, of course, keeping the manufacturing costs down, but more interestingly, it makes for easy modifications to the body of the car. So you can have a platform and then you can put whatever type of body you want on top of this. And looking at some of the patents that's been filed by Ford, we can see that the Bronco will have removable doors and some sort of a fabric top. Not sure if this is going to be fitted on all Bronco models, but it's clear that with these features, the goal is to take a piece of the pie of the Jeep Wrangler. Now, Ford has patented a bunch of different names related to the Bronco the last few years, which makes me believe that the new Bronco will be a lot more similar to the Wrangler when it comes to modularity and kind of the usability of the model. Here are a few names that's been patented by Ford to go with the launch of the 2021 Bronco. We have the Bronco Outer Banks, we have the Badlands, we have the Bronco Adrenaline, Bronco Scout, which was probably a smaller one, we have the Bronco Wild Track, the Bronco Sport, the Maverick, and the Rock Monster. Now, with all these names, it feels like there will be a bunch of versions of the Bronco to suit everyone's needs. I personally like the name Rock Monster. I feel if you put a name like that, Rock Monster, on a car, you better make sure it's actually a capable off-roader and not just for show. Here's the thing though, you know what would be really cool to see with this Bronco? Yeah, sure, a Bronco Raptor with 500 horsepower and a V8 would be great in 2010. What I want to see is a 100% electric Bronco with the torque figure of a medium-sized semi-truck. An extreme off-roader with solar panels on the flat body surfaces for charging up on the go. Why not? Instead of a Wrangler competitor, make it a Bollinger competitor. Now, the Bollinger B1 SUV and the B2 pickup trucks are not cheap. Exactly. They're started around 100 grand, but they are also custom built and designed in a shed on a farm in upstate New York. If the Bronco goes electric, we're talking about large scale mass production of a car here with all the resources Ford has available to them today. And now with the Mustang Mach-E, they already have a little bit of experience with producing electric SUVs, which could be applied to the Bronco as well. That's what I want to see, an all-electric Bronco with some new innovative charging capabilities and let's say about 400 plus mile range with big bright LEDs on the roof and in the front that follows the boxy outline of the Bronco profile to light up the night. That would be so cool to see. And who knows, with the direction we're heading right now, this doesn't seem too far away. Now let's get into the fun stuff and let's have a look at the renderings out on the wild web of what the 2021 Bronco could look like. I've always enjoyed checking out the work of fellow designers and artists to get their point of view of new cars. Some of these I think are extremely close to what the production models will look like, and I'm gonna point them out to you as we go. Some of them are very wild fantasies that I actually wish were closer to the real ones, and some are just pure insanity and madness, but I love all of them. One thing they all have in common is they're all very creative. So looking at all of these cool renders here, I think we can categorize them in three different categories. First one is the wild, crazy ones, which just are not very realistic when it comes to production, but I still like all of them. And the second category is more close to production, but maybe more of a concept or an official show car, such as the 2004 Ford Bronco, which I really love. I love the beefiness and the kind of metallic industrial look to it, and I love that car, and so does The Rock apparently, because he chose to drive it in the movie Rampage. And then this third category would be almost production ready cars, and I think we have a few of them here that looks very close to production. So talking about production ready renders, I think these three renders that I'm going to show you now, these are the renders that I think is closest to what the real Bronco is going to look like. If we compare the spy shots and try to unwrap it in our minds, this is pretty much what I think we could come up with when it comes to proportions and also the graphics that we can see through the spy photos. This seems to be the closest one to the production Bronco. And of course, if you're interested in seeing more renders like these, go follow this artist on Instagram to check out his account. Personally, I would like to see a mix of the production ones and then mix that with some of the concepts that we have here, because the production ones that we have here rendered, I think they look too tame. They don't look, they don't look Bronco-ish enough, if that makes sense. I want to be more of a boxy and more of an attitude when it comes to the Bronco. It needs to have an attitude. So when you see it, you want it, you don't want it to feel like just another small SUV or a small little, off-roader. It needs to have some sort of beefiness to it and, make a statement when you see it. I think the production-ready versions here are too tame, and I want them to have more of the ruggedness that we see in some of these concepts here. And also when it comes to retro styling, some of these do a great job with bringing the retro back. I think American cars in general has done a great job with retro styled cars, such as the Charger, Challenger, the Mustang, the Camaro, all of these. They look great. They have have that retro feel to it, and I really hope that they do the same thing with the Ford Bronco. But now when I think about it, I think the new Mustang is probably the one of these retro cars that feels the least connection with the original 65 Mustang compared to the Charger, the Challenger, and the Camaro. So I don't know, maybe they will do a good job with the Bronco, or maybe not. Maybe it will just be another, you know, small SUV that doesn't resemble the original Bronco at all, but I hope not. I hope we can take some of the craziness and apply it to these production-ready renders that we have here. And that's about it for this video of the Ford Bronco. Now I just wish the Ford would eventually, finally release some more information about it, because it's been, you know, teased for long enough. So just show us some release date or some detail of the car, or whatever you want, not just camouflaged air pictures of a mule flying through the woods. I'm TheSketchMonkey. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the new Bronco. What kind of styling do you prefer? Do you want to have it be more of a, you know, stylized modern SUV, or do you want it to be more of a homage to the original Bronco? I think I know the answer to the 90% of you are going to reply to that. But still, comment below what you think about this new Bronco. Are you excited about it? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. It really means a lot to me. And subscribe if you are new. I'm TheSketchMonkey. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.